Rise and shine, beloved. Come on in, come on in. We are here. We are here. Take a moment, go tag a friend, a family member, let them know Spiritual Success TV is live. I'm just going to pull this up, make sure we are broadcasting loud and clear on Facebook. I'm going to throw a grand rising in the comments and we're going to be ready to go. Okay. All right, go ahead, tag a friend. This is how you pay it forward. Tag a friend, tag a family member. Grand rising. Okay, here we go. All right, with that being said, beloved, let's go ahead and tap in. Bring our hearts and mind present to this sacred moment. Nothing else matters except what we're doing in this present moment. Put a hand on your heart, hand on your core, if you will. Take a good healing deep breath in with those eyes closed if you can. Bow your head slightly. And exhale fully and completely through your mouth. Come on now, we want to relax deeply, relax skin over your scalp. If you do it properly, you should feel your eyes and your cheeks relax. Drop those shoulders down from your ear. Turn that focus inward now to the rich inner life, the kingdom of God within. Come on, deep breath in. Exhale. Relax fully and completely your arms, your fingers, your torso, your core, your thighs, your legs, your feet. If you're sitting, uncross those legs and relax. Come on, deep breath in. One more for the power of 3. Breath in and exhale. All right, lovelies, we are here, and today we are starting our annual, our traditional closing word prophetic gathering, and this is something that we do to help each and every one of you end the year strong and into what we will call the new year empowered. So today, I want to kick this off with an overall arching, talking about completion. Come on, put that in your notes. Completion. Completion. What we want to do, I'm looking at the email that I sent you guys this week, the email, right? In thinking about completion, we want to close cycles that have already been completed. What do we mean by that? This year, as you know, we've talked about it many times, carried the vibration of the number 9. The number 9 for completion, assimilation, culmination, spiritual fulfillment. Please put that in your notes. This entire year, we've had help with bringing things to a close, closing out cycles, bringing it to spiritual fulfillment, bringing it to a culmination. And what we want to do today, beloved, is set up for the next 9-year cycle. But we want to make sure we are bringing this cycle to a close. How do you bring this cycle to a close? How do you know that you are being asked to complete some things? You are asked to bring things to an ending. You may have found this year to be difficult and very challenging in some areas, some aspect of your life. The reason is because the universe brings everything back around. The universe, God's operating system, right? It brings every lesson around that you did not completely learn, every lesson that you ignored. So if you found this year that you landed back in a space that you thought you were completely done with, I want you to be encouraged. Grand Rising, come on in. Let me know you're here. I want you to be encouraged because this is the year, the frequency of this year is all about completion, closing out cycles that are already done. They're already completed. So looking at the email, when a 9-year closes, everything is no longer in harmonic resonance with your next dimension. It begins to fall away naturally. So 2 things are happening this year. Number 1, you will see a resurgence of a cycle a pattern, a habit you thought you had overcome, and it was right back. It's because the energy of this year was asking for closure. It was asking for completion. And then the second thing that you notice happened this year, as I said, everything that's no longer in harmonic resonance with your next dimension begins to fall away naturally. I was sharing in a private session yesterday, and we were talking about how to gracefully release relationships as we are heading into our Grand Rising. Lisa, thanks for joining us live. As we are heading into our energy audit, really balancing out what's good, what should remain, what needs to be let go of. We talked about relationships that no longer feed you, build you, but drain you. And we have to begin to set loving boundaries, right? When you notice that there are relationships that are very draining. So now watch this. Again, two things significant happened this year. Number one, you found yourself back around another cycle you thought was done. And it's because what? There was still something else that you needed to see, something you needed to learn, the reason why you're there. So I want us to come in right here and just breathe, because I feel Spirit saying, rest here for a moment, because I want to partner with you and connect with you today to support you energetically so that you get a fresh wind. You get fresh fire for a fresh move in your life. Put that in your notes. We are breathing today for a fresh wind, fresh move, fresh fire, so that you will have the clarity that is necessary to get the job done, to come to completion. We still have, maybe about 27, 28 days. I'm not sure. I'm not doing the math right. We don't have that much. Maybe 22, 23 days left in this year. And somebody do that math real quick. And so when we have this remaining time with the energy of completion, finality, fulfillment, when we have that, we want to make sure that you have the motivation and the inspiration to bring this to a close so that you could take the necessary steps that you need to take. I want to give you a secret. This is a clue. This is a key. The key is all about choice, making a choice, and then taking aligned action. Somebody put choice, action, movement in your notes. Choice, action, movement. We're talking about aligned action, aligned at 24 days. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. I almost had it right. We're talking about aligned action that will get you further along. And so I want to give you a key. Here's a master key. It's all about choice, action, and movement. And movement will begin to override emotions that want to lock you down and lock you in place, right? So you all have experienced this. You had a task before you, and everything in your physical body coming from the ego realm now is telling you you're too tired, you don't have the energy, you don't have the strength. But here's the key. When you make the choice to take action and then get up and move, you engage your whole body, your whole nervous system begins to shift. That's one key, right? Choice, action, movement. Now I want to give you like a part A and B to choice, action, movement. Because a lot of things we do mentally, we do it in our head. We think about the task. We think about what we want. We think about what we desire to create. We think about it, but change will not occur with thinking and mental energy alone. You can't meditate your way into this. manifestation, you have to take action. In order to embody what you're seeing, what you're thinking, you have to have movement. Put that in your notes. You have to have movement. Now, the first thing that happens when you create movement, I want you to see this visually, get a visual image. Let's say, for instance, you're stuck sitting in your lounge chair, reclining in your recliner, laying in your bed, whatever you're doing, you're relaxing, but there is a task that you know needs to be done. And you keep saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. This is where choice comes in, where you say, I am going to do it. Action, I'm going to do it now. And then movement, move. So I told you, Mel Robbins wrote the book about the 5-second principle or something like that. I told you I stumbled on this years ago. I use it and it helps a lot. And so when you want to move into action, I usually do this when I'm not springing out of bed. You count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just move. You have to count down. You can't count up. It's something about the way the brain works. You have to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, move, and just get into movement. Now, here's the B part about movement. When you make the decision and the choice to move, I want you to get this visual. Instantly, all the energy, all the influence in your environment, the minute you move, everything begins to ripple. It's like throwing a pebble in a pond. Right? And you get that ripple effect. So I want you to hold on to that visual to know that anytime you move, you're shifting energy. You are regulating the body. You are managing the nervous system. And movement helps. Movement helps. And then what you do with that movement, which is the part B, you start creating a habit around that movement. All right? So here are the keys: choice, action, movement. Part A with movement is that the moment that you move, you start shifting and moving energy. I know you all have experienced this. We're just not paying attention to what we're doing. When you move, then all of a sudden, it's not as hard as you thought. You're not as tired as you thought. You're not as defeated as you thought, because movement shifts energy. And when energy starts shifting and moving, you start creating something. Oh, God, that's good. Put that in your notes, right? You start creating something. And then what you do with that movement is you go in and you use the spiritual success tool 1 and 7. And you use that tool, that energetic nervous system management tool, to start creating a new habit around that movement. Because what will happen is that habit will help you when there's no motivation, there's no inspiration, there's no clarity. If you just get up and move, and the habit is there, the habit kicks in, and the muscle memory in your body that's built up moves you through the task. Now, this is what we're working on, right? This is what we're going to work on over these next 24 days. We're going to work on the energy audit, and we're going to work on managing the nervous system, energy in the body, so that we feel more at ease and more comfortable taking the action that will move you forward. If that's good, talk back to me. I know that's good, because we all need it. We all need that. All right. So back to the email. So this universal 9 year closes everything that no longer is on harmonic resonance, right? That no longer serves you will start falling away, right? It'll naturally fall away, not as rejection, not as punishment, but as spiritual housekeeping. Can you put that in your notes? When we start working with the energy audit, the next thing that automatically comes in with that is a spiritual detox. Put that in your notes. Can you see how it is worth it at this time of the year? Energetically, everything is set up for you to relax, introspect, reflect, assess, and then start anew. So completion is not a punishment. It's not something that you have to dread. It is a sacred portal. It is a sacred portal. So this being a universal 9-year ending, completion, culmination, spiritual fulfillment, the year that we call 2026 will carry a one energy, newness, starting again fresh. So completion is a portal meaning it's an opening to the new, opening to newness. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to do this prerequisite, this preliminary work in our community with all my clients. This is the time for your year-end assessment. And you're just going to do 6 things. I'm going to give you these 6 steps. Number 1, for your assessment, you're going to look at the year. You want to get in your sacred space. Come on. Get in your sacred space. Give yourself at least 60 minutes for this. It doesn't have to take an hour, but give yourself that gift. You deserve a gift of some quality time. Ask your higher self, the Holy Spirit, your inner guidance, your God self, whatever language works for you. Help me to remember all the good things that happened this year. Help me to remember everything I've accomplished, everything I've manifested, everything that worked out for me, because the ego mind, the flesh mind, the carnal mind only wants you to see the difficulty you experienced this year. That's front and center. It only wants you to see what's not working, what didn't happen, the disappointment. No, let's start this assessment with everything that worked well. Everything you met, and let the Holy Spirit bring it back to your remembrance and start writing, beloved. That is your evidence that this year was more powerful than you remember it to be. We don't want to have ego mind amnesia. Write down, that's number 1. What worked well? What did I manifest? What did I accomplish? What worked out when I thought it was not going to work out? Write it down. You owe yourself this gift. In my community this week, my mentor shared that when we assess, study shows that we have a 15 to 30% chance of achieving the goal you desire. So it's good to do this. Just looking at everything that worked out alone will help you. Okay? Then you look at, well, what didn't work so well? Now you can look at all the things that, well, I put on too much weight this year. I didn't eat properly this year. I was too isolated this year. I didn't hit my financial goals this year, right? What didn't work so well? Number 3, what did you learn from this? What was the message that was being related to you? This is the time to go back through your journal. Start looking at the things that you wrote, messages that came through, insights, revelations that came through. And when you look back over your journal, don't get discouraged because you didn't accomplish it. Look at what came through, what was being communicated, what was being downloaded fresh for you. So number 3, what did you learn this year? What's the lesson? Because again, the universe, right, is going to keep bringing that lesson back until you learn it, especially if it is connecting to your divine assignment, if it's connected to your spiritual authority. You're not getting out until you get the lesson. So number 1, what worked well? What did I accomplish? What did I manifest? 2, what didn't work well? 3, what did I learn from that? What did I learn from that? 4, what will I do differently? going into 2026? What will I do differently? Right? And then from there, you want to ask the next question with the do differently. You ask, what needs to be let go of? What should I release and let go? And then what do I need to let in? Because as you bring things to a close, bring it to completion, bring it to spiritual fulfillment, you are making room for new. Come on, you have to make room for new. It reminds me of the parable that talks about the wineskin, how you can't pour new wine into an old wineskin. The old lessons, the old habits and patterns that want to float out of your life. That is like a comparison to the analogy that you want to expand your capacity. You can't pour new wine into an old wineskin because the old model, the old version, the old impediments will cause that new wine to burst. The wineskin to burst and the new wine will be wasted. So that's the same thing that happens, beloved, when we don't hold on to a breakthrough. So when Spirit was upgrading my philosophy about deliverance ministry, y'all recall this, remember I would say things like what came to my awareness is that people could get breakthrough, but they couldn't maintain or keep the breakthrough. And in the old days when we were in deliverance, right, this is how it all started. I recognized people would get deliverance, but they couldn't keep it. They would break free, but they couldn't stay free. So then now we're here making sure we're laying the proper foundation, inner foundation to support our outer manifestation. And we've learned not to let outside information destroy inside revelation. So this is the work that we're doing over the next 24 days. And the energy of this is going to go right on into January, really all the way up to about March. You're going to be in this closing, completing, and establishing the new 9-year cycle. So I want you to see where we are energetically. 9 is closure. Now we come to the number 1. And what you're going to do now, what you do in this number 1 year, is setting you up for the next 9-year cycle. So what happened, even in my own personal life, one of the things I set out to do this year, I did the complete opposite, right? I said I was going to take off weight, I put on weight. But I've learned something about the way that I operate. Sometimes I'm a year ahead of myself. And so I'm thankful it worked out exactly the way it did, because there was something more that wanted to come into my awareness about why this cycle came back around again. It's all for your good. Can you just say that in your notes? It's working for my good. Everything's getting better for me right now. All is well. So when we come to this number 1 year, you're setting the stage for the next 9-year cycle, right? You're setting the year for the next 9-year cycle until we get to 2035. Now that sounds like a long way off, but trust me, it's not that far off. It's not that far off, all right? So with that being said, this week, come on, let's make a decision. Let's make a decision today that we are going to lock down as we in this closing word gathering. And each day or every couple of days or so, I'm going to release a new word that's going to support us on this journey of bringing things to completion. Because what you want to do, beloved, is release the things that are already completed and not carry it over. This is an important point. What happens is that in the ego mind, the part of you that's used to habit, used to things being a certain way, Even though a cycle can be completed, you might want to carry the baggage of it over into the new. We don't want to do that. We want to release what's already been completed. So for me, right, this whole cycle that I came back around is already at an end. It's already completed. I'm not going to carry the mindset of this cycle perpetuating into my new season. This is done. This is done. And as we are already taking steps and moving, putting your hand on it energetically, we're going to do the energy audit. We're going to do a spiritual detox. And you're going to set yourself up for the next 9 years. You get to choose. So every time we say, this is my year, this is my year, I said, we're not making a mad dash. We're going to make a choice. You're going to choose what we call 2026 will mean for you. You get to choose. Write the vision. Make it plain. It doesn't have to be a whole long diatribe, a whole long book. It could be one paragraph. It could be 2 sentences. Come on, beloved. But you get to choose. That's the beauty of it. You get to choose. Take a good healing deep breath in. Exhale. Stay here a moment. Let everything land. Let everything settle in your spirit. More is caught than taught. Take the relaxing posture. Come on. Let everything that was shared in these 30 minutes permeate you on a cellular level. Taking snapshots in the spirit of everything that was said. And we trust spirit to bring it back when you need it most. Bring it back when you need it most. All right? So we're in the 12th month. Come on, let's sow seed. We're using the number 12, using the number 9, any variation of 12 or 9, sow seed, and have a blessed, wonderful, and amazing rest of your day. Bye for now, lovelies.